Right, hello guys, welcome back to another video. This is, I do believe, episode number 3, and it is not, well, this isn't the first time I've done this. This is the second attempt, hopefully the last attempt, because the first time I forgot, well, I thought I was recording and apparently I wasn't, but there you go. So as you can probably already tell, we are playing Train Sim World 2 today, not Roblox, and we're going to be taking a trip on the Southeastern High Speed Class 395 from London St Pancras International down to Faversham. So hopefully that will be a bit interesting. I'll also give you a bit of a talk and tell you how realistic I think some of these stations are, and give you a couple of tips and pointers as we go along. So I'll see you guys when we have spawned at London St Pancras. And we have finally arrived at St Pancras International. The current time is 10:55. This train here on platform number 11 is due out 7 minutes. This is also going to be the 12-class service that will be taken out. So the first thing we're going to do is jump onto here, rear cab, shut that door, take a seat in the driver's seat, and let's have a look around. This is actually really nice. The capitals are really detailed, which I like. So right, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the master key, put that into neutral, listen to all the alarms go off, and now I'm going to come to here, the light panel, and turn on my tail lights. I'm now also going to open up my doors. Now I'm going to switch off the train, take out my master key, and walk to the other end. Close that door. Let's just make sure my tail lights are on straight off. And we can see a boat. So this is train number 1. This is actually quite accurate. So, well, yeah, it is. Just I've been on this train before, so I know what it looks like. It's extremely accurate. These priority seat stickers, they're actually there in real life. These reservation screen displays, even though you can't actually reserve a seat on the service, I don't think they are actually there in real life. So this is extremely accurate and well detailed. So well done to Dovetail Games for that one. All the stickers, danger, electricity, authorised access only. It is an extremely detailed train and game. Train Sim World 2 is really good. So nearly at the end of the train now with this train. So that was train number 3950117, I should say, and we're going to drive in 395023. So this is a 12-class service. Set wheel one in the seat 395. What did I just say? 395033, I think. Yeah, 395033. How can I forget that? Yeah, so that's the service we're going to be driving. Set we're going to be cabs on. It's also a nice snowy, cloudy day, which is just going to add to the fun. So we're now at the end of the train, and we're just going to make sure the lights are on, so I'm not. So the first thing we're going to do now at the end of the train is just jump in the cab. It's a bit dark here, so I'm also going to turn the lighting, just turn on the cab lights. And we're now going to turn on the safety systems, AWS and DSD. Now they're switched on, we're going to take a seat in the driver's seat. and power up the train. So to do that, we're going to put the master key in, switch it to the on position, and put the reverse into the neutral position. That alarm you can hear going off in the background, that hasn't cleared. That wasn't in the other cab, the AWS system. So to clear that, I'm going to press B on the controller, and that will just clear that. The next thing we're going to do is turn on the headlights. Now, you're going to do a colour here and just switch this to. I'm going to switch this to night running. For the simple fact that it's kind of cloudy-ish. Visibility isn't great, which is why I'm going to switch it to night running. Although in real life you probably would have it on day running, so therefore I am actually sticking to day running. Let's just check the warning lights real quick, which are there working. Yep, so our hazard lights are indeed working, as you can see. We've got 2 red blinking lights, which suggests to us that it's all working. So jumping back on the driver's seat, we are now going to switch those hazard lights off. And we are going to come to here and click CTRL and press pan up, choose down twice. So that's the first time, and that's the second time. The next thing we're now going to do is we're going to turn on my DRA, so let's do that. We are now going to try and somehow find the light switch, which is somewhere. Royal starts screaming at me, saying it's behind me. I'm aware there is one behind there, but I'm also aware, here it is. There is one on my desk. I'm going to turn on the reading light just to make it easier to see the tunnels, and now I'm just going to switch on the wipers. So wiper speed we'll set to 10 more at stand still. And we can also just do a single wipe, which might be better than stand still. And as you can see, there is the other train just coming in now. For some reason my doors have decided to lock back up, which I'm not entirely sure why. I can only assume that was a guy jumped out of the train that had decided to close. Which is going to be a bit problematic because we're due to leave in about 20 seconds or so. So yeah. Bit problematic. There you go, with now green signal, so we can turn off my DRA, and I'm also going to give that another quick wipe just to clear all the snow on it. And so I'm just going to park it to the left. At this point, I'm now going to park it back to the right and switch off my wipers onto a low speed as we get ready to leave the station. As you can see from the speeding pulled up ahead, the speed of departure to Pancras is 20 kilometers per hour, and we've now got it's now time to shut the door, so we're going to now do that. Releasing the brake and putting it forward. We are now going to power up the train, which apparently is not going to work. So I'm just going to put power up, choose down the floor, and we're now taking power. Upon leaving Stratford International, as it's still snowing and it's quite heavy, I'm just going to speed my wipers up. And as I previously mentioned, the speed limit departure here is 40 kilometers an hour. That's worked out as kilometers per hour and not miles per hour, as normally on British railways the speed is measured in miles per hour. However, on the high speed 1 route on the St Pancras International and as far as Ashford International, the speed is in fact kilometers per hour, where the Eurostar and international services run. So we've now reached the speed limit of 40 miles per hour, so I'm just going to try and hold around there that speed ball we just went past there was 80 kilometers per hour, and we should be reaching that as we come up for the London Channel 1. As you can see, the speed has in fact dropped slightly, and we have now that past that first speed ball, so we are now just going to accelerate up to 80 kilometers an hour. The tracks, we're about to cross over a set of tracks as we go into the tunnel. They are the tracks coming out of London King's Cross. So if you go in that direction, as I just showed you on the camera, you'll start heading to London King's Cross. And as you can see, the speed has just reached 80 kilometers per hour. Ignore what I said back there. We've just passed it. But we've passed it. And in fact, we just passed it as we reached London Tunnel number 1. We're now speeding up to 200 kilometers per hour. And we're now in the tunnel. I'm also going to switch off my ones if they are not needed in the tunnels. Speed limit will shortly go up to 225 kilometers per hour if I remember correctly, but we won't actually get up to that speed as we won't have enough time. So we'll probably get up to about 215 kilometers an hour maximum before we need to start slowing down. That alarm that just went off there was the DXB, so that's just to make sure I'm still alive and driving the train. As you can see there, the speed has just gone up to 225 kilometers per hour, and it's now immediately started flashing just before the rest of the speed is going to start dropping down to 200 kilometers per hour. So at this point I'm just going to come off the power as there is no need to accelerate above that. And like I just said, the speed is going to come down to 200 kilometers per hour as it's just been down. So the next drop is going to be about 180 kilometers per hour, so we're going to start slowing down that. My value turned out to be 160 kilometers per hour, but we are going to continue to slow down as we're now about 1.5 miles away from Stratford International. If you remember from the start of the video, we're about 3.5 miles away from Stratford International. We're now about a mile out now. The speed limit has now dropped to 100 kilometers per hour, and we are going way too fast at this point, so we are just going to brake a bit heavier to get it down to about 100 kilometers per hour. And as you can see, there is now the bay light and we are approaching Stratford International. So at this point I am going to turn my wipers back on and continue to brake at the same time. So there goes on the wipers, and we're going to lock the back 50 kilometers per hour as we approach Stratford International. I am going to turn the brakes for a minute and come back on now, just to make sure we don't stop too early. I'd rather go in too fast, slam my first in the last bit, then stop too early. Yet again, saying that, I'd rather stop too early than stop too late. As you can see, we've actually just overshot that ever so slightly, and yeah. So at this point, we would be, as you can see, we were actually a carriage over, so I'm just going to immediately shut these doors. As, yeah, passengers don't want to be alighted from those carriage, as we've just cleverly overshot. Now, I could back the train up if I wanted to, however, that isn't that realistic, and this was to happen in real life. This is one of two things would likely to happen. Either the train will just stop where it is and the driver will open its doors. Most likely this one carriage is not open, or they would get permission from the signal allowed to continue to the next station. However, if they do that, they will have some very unhappy customers. So it's just best you don't overshoot the platform anyway. Now it's time to shut the door, so we're going to click the blue button here that says door closed, that's use off. Once those two red lights have gone out and that blue button lights up, like it was just now, we know it's time for us to release the brakes and power. Speed limit part is Structure International is 100 kilometers per hour as indicated on my dashboard there. So we will be accelerating up to that and no further, and that's when we'll be braking speed and trying to pump speed limit. And as you can see there, we're speed has just gone back up to 225 kilometers per hour. We're about 15 miles down the end speed session now. I've also just switched my wipers on as they are not needed in the tunnel. We are currently in London Tunnel number 2, and this takes us out to around the Dartford area, so we should hopefully the Elizabeth Bridge or Dartford Crossing, as you also may know it as. Once again, that alarm that just went off was the train DSD or driver safety device. That is there, as I've mentioned, just to make sure that I am still alive and in control of the train. If in real life that went off and the driver was not to push the pedal, which is located just down there somewhere, the train would in fact put its emergency brakes on and automatically bring it to a stop. As far as the train is concerned, the driver is not in control of the train, and therefore it's not safe to continue on any further. As you can see by my speedometer, we are currently doing 222 kilometers an hour, and as we slowly approach 225, I am going to ease off the power. We're also coming up to the exit to London Tunnel number 2, and as we do that, obviously I'll be putting my wipers back on, and it is still snowing outside. I'll also be trying to show you the Dartford Bridge, Dartford Bridge, or the Elizabeth Bridge, as you also may know. This point we are now less than 10 miles away from M3 and we're currently doing just over 200 kilometers per hour, which is quite fast. It's just above, well, about 200 kilometers an hour is about the equivalent of 125 kilometers per speed. No, it's not. I think 225, just over 125 miles per hour, which is the legal limit for trains to be going out in the UK without in-cab signalling. So obviously this train has got in-cab signalling, so it can safely go above that 125 miles per hour limit. I give you some outdoor shots, outside shots, exterior shots, and here we are actually now speaking to this point where I'm not concentrating on driving the train, so I'm just going to try a bit of weightage to get this train speed to around 130 kilometers an hour. So at this point we are going quite fast, and it will take 7 miles to safely skip the train to a complete stop. Using here display. The Dark Tunnel and Dark Bridge, or Elizabeth Bridge, is somewhere over there, I do believe. I will put a picture up at some point in this video, if not now, towards the end of the video, the one of the screenshots, one of the images from the some of the official art images of this game, where you've got the image of the Dark Tunnel. Not on the Elizabeth Bridge, but Dark Bridge, whatever you want to call it. I do have to say though in advance that that image has to go full credit to Dovetail Games. Once again, that image has to go has to have full credit to Dovetail Games, and it's not, repeat, not my own work. At this point we're about 3 miles away now from M3 International, and I think the speed limit is about to come down to 200 or 200 kilometers per hour as we approach M3. We're now in London Tunnel number 3. This is the last of the London tunnels. And the speed limit just dropped to 200 kilometers per hour. So we are going to start bringing the train slowly down to a stop as we approach M3 in about 2 miles an hour. I've also got to say I have found that M3 actually comes out quite quickly. As you see, we're now just under a mile and a half away from M3 now. The speed limit has got to 130 kilometers an hour, and I'm going to rapidly decelerate, otherwise we will most likely overshoot platforms again. Now, at this point, we also at M3 we also switch from the overhead catenary to third rail. We're also changing signalling systems here at M3 International. Will be in-cab to the normal signalling system. Can I remember the actual technical names for them? No. However, I will, after this video is recorded, I will try and find them and put them the name the name of the video up on screen for you. We're now doing about 80 kilometers an hour. We're about 4.6 miles away from M3 at this point. We're just coming up and around M3 International platform. The lines you see either side of us are the line heading to M3 International lower level platforms, and are those for those heading out towards Ashford International. At this point we're no longer using the in-cab signalling system, and we also switched from kilometres per hour to miles per hour here at Edgefleet. As you can also see on the left hand side of the board, the road rail has now appeared, and just beyond the Edgefleet the overhead continuity system will in fact disappear. We have now brought the train to a complete stop at Ebbsfleet, and we've actually managed to do a better job than we did at Stratford, which is always a plus. As you can see, our cab door is actually on the correct side of the fence here at Ebbsfleet. So what we're now going to do is we're going to hit the DC button, and we're now going to click pan up, shoes down once, and pan up, shoes down twice. So now at this point our pantographs should now be down, and our shoes should also be down as well, and we will be drawing power from the third rails and not the overhead continuity system. This does also mean we are limited to, I do believe, 100 miles per hour. If that is wrong, I'll put it up on the screen, the correct speed limit. We're nearly ready to depart Ebbsfleet International at this point, so like I previously said, the speed limit has actually already changed from kilometers per hour to miles per hour. As you can also see, we've got the exterior outside. I cannot remember the name, but I will go whenever I do it, put it up on the screen. In fact, the technical names for the two signal lens systems. So it's probably doing about 5 miles per hour. As you note, I said miles per hour this time and not kilometers per hour, as like I've already mentioned like 1,000 more times at this point, we have switched over, automatically switched over I should say, from miles per hour to kilometers per hour. Our next station is now just under 2 miles away, and it's Gravesend. And as you can see at this point, the overhead cables have now disappeared, and we are running completely off the third rail. That alarm there is the TWS alarm, or the advanced warning system. It's the first time apart from when we was back at Ashford International that alarm has actually gone off. As you can see, we're now only a few hundred yards away from Gravesend on what really train very quickly down to 30 miles per hour. We are actually now speeding. Not only that, I do not want to be going into Gravesend above 30 miles per hour, otherwise I have braking issues. So we're now at 30 miles per hour and we have got to stop at the end of the path. Well, that we have got a green signal, which is always a good thing. We are currently going way too fast again, so I've got the full breakage on and we are probably going to overshoot the platform slightly again, just like we did at Stratford. So I'm going to use this as a good opportunity to actually show you how to, not like you would in real life, back the train out. So the first thing I'm going to do is switch the reverser into neutral now, reverse, come off the braking, close my doors because the AI system wants to keep doing that for me. And now I'm just going to give the train a little bit of power and back the train out. As you can see, we are now backing out, but like I said already, this is not something that would actually be done in real life. Now I've just reopened the doors. Just going to zoom down to the front of the train and make sure we are fully back in the platform, which we're probably not. However, I have just shown you how to do it and back the train out. Like I said, this isn't actually something you do in real life. As you can see, we are actually back fully in the platform at this point, and we probably was just about fully in the platform. However, I couldn't see the signal, which is never a good thing. When you stop the train, you do want to be able to see the signal from your cab. In real life, if you wasn't able to see the signal from your cab, you would have one of two things options you could do. You could either call up the signalman and request to pass the signal at danger, or you could get out of your cab and see what the signal aspect actually is. However, if you've already passed the signal in real life and the tracks is, if you've already passed the signal at that point and your train is occupying the track circuit, you would have to phone up the signalman and request to pass the signal at danger, as the signal will be held at danger by your train. As we leave Gravesend, the next station is Strode, in about 6.5 miles. The speed limit of passing Gravesend is 30 miles per hour. And as you can see there, the speed limit has gone up to about 50 miles per hour. Please remember that we are driving a 12-car unit, so when the speed limit does go up, if we're driving a 6-car unit, it will be half the time. As you may have noticed, the speed limit is about to go up to 70 miles per hour in a minute. However, we've just got to wait for that last carriage to go through. Which your home's now done at this point. So we can accelerate up to 70 miles per hour. As we approach the 70 miles per hour mark, I have now come off the throttle, just to make sure we are not going too fast and we don't go above the speed limit. Little fun fact, these trains, I do believe, if I remember off the top of my head, were brought into service, like it says it here, these trains were actually brought into service in 2009. However, there was actually originally, the main purpose of these trains was to help out the London Olympics in 2012. In fact, the whole restoration and the major works done at Stratford, the whole point of that was to help with the London 2012 Olympics. This also includes the Stratford International Station being built. The point of that was to help with the London 2012 Olympics. So at this point we're now about 3 miles away from Strood, and we're sort of getting ready to slow down and stop at Strood. At this point of the working like that, we are driving the high-speed service, and therefore we do not stop at all of these stations along this section of the line. Hence, we went straight through that station back there. So the problem, we're just coming up to the 9-mile mark before we reach Strood, and there goes my DS thing, thank you. Please what I was going to say now. Yeah, we're coming up to the 1.5 mile mark until, well, we're 1.3 miles away from Strood at this point. So at the mile mark, I will be beginning to brake and slow the train down to stop at Strood. We've now reached that 1 mile mark, so I have begun to put a little bit of breakage on, and they go like TWS alarm. These alarms like interrupt me. Like I said, we have quite reached the 1 mile mark, and I have begun to put a bit of breakage on just to slow the train down and stop the time through. I've been doing about 45 miles per hour, and we're still just over half a mile away. I have begun to brake slow as we get a bit closer. I'll put that little bit more breakage on just to make sure we're doing about 30 miles an hour as we enter Strood. As you can see I just suddenly had to put my brakes on quite heavily as we just gone through a 15 mile per hour. So I just not realise this down. As you can see, we are now entering Strood station, and as we are now back outside and it's snowing, I'm just going to pop my wipers back on just so I can see what I'm doing. We are obviously a 12 car unit, so we're going to drive right down to the outside of the platform and stop at the 12 car mark at 15 miles per hour. So this is going to be a bit of a timely journey down. As you can see, the starting signal at Strood is displaying a green aspect. It's also got the 5 white lights pointing in the direction to the left. This tells me, the driver, that we are going to be going left at these sets of points. Those white lights are also known as a bevel, which the point of them is to just tell the driver whether or not they are turning off. In this case, they are lit up and they are telling me we are going left at this junction. And as you can see here, the doors are now being closed, and we're just going to start releasing the brakes and powering up to 15 miles per hour as we head off to Rochester. We're due to be there in about 30 seconds, so thankfully it's only 0.7 miles away. However, we are going to be a bit late. And that's a perfect example why you should be playing on your phone while you are driving, because we have just topped the speed limit by quite a bit. Yes, the speed limit did go up, and I've just put my emergency brakes on. This could not get any better. I don't even know how to get this train moving after those brakes have gone off. Right, I'm going to shut the train down real quick. Yes, I just put the handle into emergency. I don't think that was a good idea. Right, let's see if I can get this going again. Okay, I'm actually quite surprised we just got this train moving again. But that's just a perfect example of why you don't play on your phone while you're driving a train. Because otherwise you start the speeds and then you accidentally put your emergency brake order. You may not be able to get the train going again. If one suggestion I would have to make to dovetail games is please watch a tutorial on how you reset your emergency brakes on this train. We're now just approaching Rochester, and we will slowly put a bit more braking on as we pull in. As you can see there, the ground, the red markers were just beyond the platform, which does tell me this 12 car unit will not complete technically within the platform. However, that is not the end of the world. I'm just gonna, as you can see now, we are actually just moving slightly further up. The reason why I have decided to do this is because of the fact that we don't completely access the platform, and so I decided just to move up ever so slightly further, just to allow the train to fit in a bit more. And as we just come up to that point, I'm going to put my road on. So as you can see, the nose of the train is just beyond the fence, however, that's not the end of the world. The main thing for me is to make sure that the entire train, or as much as the train, is in the platform as possible. If that means sacrificing maybe a cab door, so yeah, as long as we can see the signal as well, that is the main thing. Just comes down to the end of the platform, you can in fact see that there's quite a bit of clearance, so maybe I didn't need to shun that a little bit further forward. But never mind. As it's nearly time to ready to close the doors, I've be releasing the brakes here at Westminster and start powering up to the next station, which is Cheltenham, which is also 0.8 miles away, so we probably won't be getting much faster than 30 miles per hour. There's also another packet speed service past 39. Oh no, it's a 37. Off the top of my head, I can't actually think what it is. I was about to say 395 and 377, but it's near one. I have no clue what it is, but I'll put it in the underneath in the video what it is as I review the footage. I want to say that sounds a class 279, but I get a feeling that might be greater anger. Yes, I was correct in thinking that the class 379 is the greater Angeles train. I did just Google it to double check that. As we approach, that's just the next gap to that. So we are currently going a bit too fast last night, that's a bit heavier on the brakes. I'm also just going to double check the timetable in a second as we come to a stop at the doors. That was the button. Oh, that was a schedule. So as you can see here, we have just stopped at Cheltenham. So next up will be Gillingham, Rainham, Sittingbourne, and then Faversham. So we've only got 4 more stops to go. As you can see, there is actually another one of those trains just pulling in. So I just jumped into the outside camera just so I can get a better idea of what the set number is. And it's a 375. So that other train we saw that I said was about to say it's a 377, and then I said it is a 379. And I sort of Google it, but I'll stick a clip of that part of the video in there now. Yes, that train there. Oh, shut up, AI announcements. Yes, that part of the that train there is a 375. As you can see, the speed limit has gone up to about 45, possibly even 50. At least about to crack this up to kilometers per hour, but it is actually miles per hour. And so we are just about to clean up that. However, we have also just gone past a preliminary cautionary signal, which is 2 yellows, warning me that the next signal is likely to be a yellow. So we're not going to quite go up to that full speed, as we don't want to go past a single amber or cautionary signal too fast, as the signal after that is likely to be at danger. And the last thing we want to be doing is going through a danger signal. And I did not acknowledge the AWS quick enough, the emergency quick runner. So as you saw there, the stat signal was in fact at cautionary, which suggests to me that the next signal is in fact at danger. So at this point I only want to go as far as I can actually see clear. And that's assuming I can actually reset this train. Oh, shut up, train! There we go. Got there in the end. Right, so at this point we only want to be going as far as we can actually see clear. There we go, the train is now fully reset, even though I've forgotten how to do it again. Once again, I do really think that Dovetail Games should be including that in the tutorial as to how to not change up, but reset it, the emergency brakes. As I also mentioned, that that signal back there was at cautionary, so we only want to be going as far. We only want to be, speed we want to be doing, we want to be able to stop within as far as we can see clear, basically. So if we can't stop within the distance that we can actually see clear, we're going too fast. And I can also see a red signal at this point. Whether it's on our line or not, I'm not entirely too sure. However, we can't be certain. We have to assume, as it currently stands, that it is on our line. I can also see at this point that there are several red signals, including one on our platform. So when we do stop, we will have to be setting the DRA to make sure we don't set off while it's in danger. So as we bring the train to a complete stop here, first thing we're going to be doing, or even opening up the train doors, or apparently the game just opened the train doors for me, is we're going to set the DRA. This will prevent me from taking power. So as long as that is pushed in, set, and that red light's on, I cannot take power. The point of this device here, the driver's reminder line, is to stop the drivers from passing the signal at danger. As you can see there, the signal now has in fact changed to green, so I will be able to take that off. However, I'm going to leave that pushed in until set on. If I remember correctly as well, just up ahead along this line there is in fact a level crossing, potentially why that signal was at danger. I'm also going to now remove my DRA and flick the brakes and take power off. So yeah, I was correct in saying that there is a level crossing for that station there. So the reason why that signal was danger is because the barriers hadn't yet gone down, and they will not go down until we have stopped at the station, and therefore keep the signals at danger until we have a complete stop at the station. As you can see, that our DSD or the driver safety device has just gone off. That there is also the pedal just there to make sure that I am good. That's the pedal there to reset the DSD, the driver's safety device. As you can see, it has got about 70 miles per hour, 75, 80 miles per hour, and we are about 1.5 miles away from like Britain. So I am going to accelerate that to that speed, I think. And as you can see there, the AWS just went off again, and we just went off and cleared the mid, a double yellow signal, warning me that the next signal is likely to be at cautionary or a suitable yellow, which also then tells me that the following signal after that is likely to be in red or a danger, as was the case just now with the previous sets of signals. And there you go, the AWS went off again, and that signal was in fact a danger, so I'm going to have to start very heavily braking. I probably should have already started braking and ready for that cautionary, knowing that the next signal is likely to be a danger. I also should need to be able to stop within sight distance, which as it currently stands, I can now, but I couldn't 2 minutes ago. And as I can see just ahead here, the signal is in fact at danger. And as you can see, the train will complete stop here at whatever station this is on. I'm not remember anymore. I'm going to set my DRA as Echo Kilo 4161. It was a danger, and however has just cleared to a clear. As you can see there, the front of the train it does say Faversham, as well as it does on the side of the train as well. There you go, Faversham. It does also say the destination inside the train as well on these display boards. There you go, Faversham. And there you go, the computer is decided to close the doors for me, so all I've got to do is remove the DRA and power the train up. In real life, the driver would have to open and close the doors themselves, and as should it be in the game. However, I do believe that is like 550 of the game that it's causing that. So the next station is Sittingbourne, which is about 5.5 miles away at this point. So we will probably get up to the maximum speed limit of about 80 miles per hour. At this point, the video duration is actually coming up from about an hour and a half for me, although it's likely to be a lot less for you guys after I have edited the video. you guys is probably likely to be around the hour mark. Once I have edited it, the time is currently at 1 hour, just under 1 hour and 25 minutes for me, so it's likely to be around an hour for you guys after I have edited the video. So we're just coming up for about 3 miles here until we get to the city wall. Speaking in 80 miles an hour, well, it was 80 miles an hour. We were just suddenly got to about 70, so now we've got a quick way to get that back down to 70. As we approach the airport, once again, I am going to have to start waiting as a way to stop the time of the city wall. If you look in the top left-hand corner, you can also see there's the time and the time we are due there and the time that what the current time is. If you look at my cursor here, you'll see I have actually circled it, kind of. That is the time we are due there and the time we are the current time. So we are in fact running that a little bit late. That probably does not help due to the fact that we have to make a couple of we've done a couple of emergency brakes and struggled to get the train moving again. So as we come up for about the 1 mile mark to the city hall, I am going to start braking so we can, well, stop the time for sitting. And as you may have just noticed there, that 6 that repeater we just went through was in fact the green repeater, which I don't see too many of, but that just tells me that the following signal that we just went past was in fact a reading signal. The signal is upon us now and we are going way too fast, which is also going to mean I'm going to have to brake a lot heavier to stop the time. Just thinking at this point we are going to 100% overshoot this, which is not a good thing. And we're going to back the train up. No, what I'm going to do instead is just close the doors. As you can see, the signal is in fact green, however, most likely in real life that would be displaying a red aspect of the screen. Most likely, considering the fact that it is also on a junction here, there is a high risk that another train could, should that change to red and this go to green, another train could come along and, well, yeah. So as you can see, it's nearly time to shut these doors now, so we're going to close them by pressing that left on the D-pad. We're also now going to release the brakes and move on to Faversham, our last stop. If you was wondering what I was trying to do there, is I was just trying to keep an eye on that signal to see when it changed to danger. However, the train obviously went a bit too fast, so I couldn't keep up with it. Faversham is about just under 7 miles away now, and it is our last stop. As you can see there, we're slightly over 2 minutes, a little bit away from short 2 minutes, getting it back down. At this point, we're just under 5 miles away from Faversham, running right late point. As you see there, we went past our whistle. Did I forget one was being called? Yes, I did. So for me on the keyboard, the call is N for high, space for low. If you're using controller, it is the left bump bit if you are using the controller. But that only gives you low. So if you want the high tone, you either have to look down at the horn and do it, or use the keyboard and as you can see there, we're about just over 2 miles away from Faversham, so in about half an hour we're going to start to, well, probably about half an hour actually, we're going to start to brake for Faversham. And there goes another class 395. So in about 0.2 miles now we're going to start to brake for Faversham 0.1. So you can see there we've just went past another 2 whistles. We also went past a volcano fireball, that's going to be the next speed limit is 60. We're also going past a double yellow here, so at this point we're going to be preparing for the next signal to the yellow. So we're actually going to slow down, ready for the next signal to be a yellow, at which point we only want to go as fast as we can see clear. So we want to be able to stop within the distance we can actually stay. So here's the 60 miles per hour we just went off, but we are currently doing 38 and still decreasing. So we are actually perfectly fine. The next signal should be coming up shortly, and most likely going to be the signal protecting Faversham platforms at this station. It's also likely to be at caution as the station starting signal at Faversham will be at yellow, danger even. So as you can see, the signal is now yellow, so we do need to be able to stop within the distance we can see clear. So yeah, some of you may already know this, that fortunately the signal, or when the signal until we pass a signal at danger, as you can see with caution isn't a set speed limit. However, what it actually means is you can see and go as far your speed needs to be. You need to be able to stop within the distance that you can see clear. So if you're going at 90 miles per hour and you can't stop within the distance you can see clear, because you're doing 90 miles per hour, then you're not considered caution. You need to be able to stop within the distance you can see clear when you're not considered caution. So you see the next signal is danger, and we can see the truck ahead of clear up to that signal. So as soon as we can stop within the red signal, you can actually go as fast as we want, so speed limit. I'm just going to pull up to this red signal here. And so that's pretty much it. We're going to now shut the cab down at this point, turn that off, come over here and switch it from night running, which I'm going to automatically put that into, to the tails. We're also going to switch off our wiper. We're actually going to put the DRA on as well, but we're also going to switch the wipers off. I'm just going to have a quick look outside because why not? And there it is. I just remembered I do need to input my key back in and turn that back on so I can shut the doors in a minute. However, there's no need to turn the lights back on as the train does in fact terminate here at Faversham. This is also where the video is going to end here at Faversham. So there you go, we've now got the tube to lock the doors. The game is going to automatically do that for me, apparently. But once those doors are locked, we can then turn that off or not. And here it is. This is the performance graph, so we can see how fast we went and compared to the actual speed limit, the stopping accuracy, which some of them was not too bad, others were pretty bad. As you can see, Stratford International, and apparently we just got an achievement. Complete one service in the South Eastern high speed. As you can see, Stratford International Platform B, if you remember, I'll put a clip of that now. Time. So there it goes on one person. And we're going to lock the back to 1 per hour. That's really approach Stratford International. I am going to turn the brakes for a minute and come back on now, just to make sure we don't stop too early. I'd rather go in too fast and slam my brakes at the last minute than stop too early. Yet again, saying that, I'd rather stop too early than stop too late. As you can see, we've actually just overshot that ever so slightly, and yeah. So at this point, we would be, as you can see, we've actually carried. Yeah, we stopped pretty poorly there. As you can see, the stopping actually was actually 22.2 yards. That's pretty poor. There's a couple of other stations out. Here we go. Sitting Bull, I'll put a clip of that in now. It is upon us now, and we are going way too fast, which is also going to mean I'm going to have to brake a lot heavier to stop the line. I'm just thinking at this point we are going to 100% overshoot this, which is not a good thing. And we're going to back the train up. No, I'm not. Yeah. Once again, we stopped quite badly there at Sitting Bull with a stopping accuracy of 31.8 yards. Strood, I think, was another one that we had issues with, but the stopping actually wasn't too bad there with 2.57 yards. So the main ones we mainly messed up and had issues with was Strood, Sitting Bull and Stratford International. So that's going to be it for me, guys. Until if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more of the weekly uploads, click the traffic down. Click the logo in the top left hand corner to subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to see the next video, which if that's up yet, click the video on the right hand corner, and to go and subscribe to Isabel G, click the logo in the bottom right hand corner to go and check her channel out. Otherwise, that's it from me, guys. Until next time, see ya.